Today, in this video, I will show you how to add media queries to make a web page fully responsive. Now, this is one of the most important things when it comes to modern web design. If your web page doesn't look good on mobile, tablet, and desktops, you are missing out on a huge audience. And here's the thing, it's not as complicated as it sounds. Media queries allows us to apply different styles based on the size of the screen, and I will explain exactly how to do that. So make sure you stick around because I will share a really helpful tip later on that will make the process a lot easier for you. So let's get started. Okay, before we start implementing media queries, let's take a quick look at the web page we will be working on today. This is a straightforward landing page that has some text boxes below the header, navigation, and hero section. It's a simple framework, but it's an excellent place to begin learning how to make a page responsive. We have a large heading at the top, and as you scroll down, you see three boxes that introduce the mission, services, and contact details of this fictional website. The footer at the bottom keeps things clean and simple. Now, if you view this page on a large screen like a desktop, everything looks great. But once you open it on a tablet or a phone, the layout starts to break. Here's where media queries are useful. They allow us to make adjustments for different screen sizes so our page looks clean and organized, no matter what device someone is using. So, what exactly are media queries? In the simplest terms, media queries are a feature of CSS that lets you apply specific styles depending on the characteristics of the user's device, such as the width of the screen. For example, on a mobile screen, you might want text to be smaller, images to be resized, or contact boxes to stack vertically instead of being side by side. Media queries give you that control. Here's how it works. Normally, you write your CSS as usual, but when you want to add a media query, you specify it like this. This means that when the screen width is 768 pixels or less, like on a tablet or mobile, the styles inside this media query will be applied. Let's add media queries to this landing page and see how we can make it responsive. Let's start by adding a media query for tablets. Tablets generally have a screen width around 768 pixels, so that's what we will target first. In the CSS, add this. What does this do? Well, first we are telling the content section to display in a column instead of a row when the screen size is 768 pixels or less. This stacks the content boxes vertically so they don't squeeze together awkwardly on smaller screens. Next, we adjust the width of each content box to 80% so it fills more space without being too wide. We also add some spacing below each box using margin bottom so there is room between them when they stack. Finally, we reduce the font size of the hero text slightly so it fits better on a smaller screen. Now let's see how this looks in the browser. Now that our page looks good on tablets, let's move on to mobile devices. Mobile screens are usually around 480 pixels wide, so we will create a media query for that size. Here's what we are doing in this media query. First, we shrink the header text size because the big font won't look good on smaller screens. We reduce it to 1.5 rem. We also shrink the size of the navigation links to make sure they don't overflow the screen. For the hero section, we adjust the font size and padding of the heading so it fits neatly within the available space. Finally, we set the width of each content box to 100%, allowing them to take up the full width of the screen, which looks much better on a mobile device. Let's go ahead and check out how this looks in the browser. You can see how the layout adjusts perfectly for mobile devices now. One of the great things about media queries is that you can easily see the changes in real time as you resize your browser window. Let's test it out now. If I slowly reduce the width of my browser, you will see that as soon as we hit 768 pixels, the content boxes stack vertically and everything adjusts for a tablet layout. And if we continue shrinking down to 480 pixels, we get the mobile layout. Text is smaller, the boxes are full width, and everything fits perfectly on the screen. This is exactly why media queries are so powerful. They give you full control over how your website looks across different devices, and with just a few simple lines of CSS, you can make your site fully responsive. As I promised, here is a helpful tip that can save you a lot of time. Always start with the mobile first design. What this means is that you write your styles assuming that the user is on a mobile device first, then use media queries to add styles for larger screens like tablets and desktops. This way you ensure your site works perfectly on mobile devices from the start and you only add complexity for larger screens later. Trust me, this approach makes everything a lot simpler and more efficient. Instead of writing CSS for desktop and then trying to fix things for mobile, You are building for the smallest screens first and adding on as needed. Now that you have learned how to add media queries to make your website responsive, go ahead and try it out on your own projects. If you found this helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more web development tutorials. And if you want to learn more about CSS tricks and advanced approaches, watch this video where I go over some really interesting concepts that can help you take your design to the next level. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.